As Halloween season creeps closer, there's no better time to dive into some of the scariest horror series Netflix has to offer. Slashers, zombies, supernatural, we got it all. So let's begin our look at the 10 best horror series on Netflix right now.
There has been another murder to a guy who lives down the hall from me.
Number 10, Slasher. This is an anthology series in which every season has a new mass killer and a new group of characters must play a bloody game of survival. Slashers can be a love it or hate it genre. Personally, I love it. One of the hallmarks of a good or at least entertaining slasher is over-the-top kills. Slasher definitely has that in spades, and if you're like me and down for a killer good time, then Slasher might be a good series to satisfy your bloodlust this Halloween season. There are 3 of Slasher's 5 seasons available on Netflix, and you should be able to find it in every region.
I've seen a forest that takes the dead inside. Please, show me mercy. No!
Number 9, Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. This anthology series was curated by visionary director Guillermo del Toro and presents standalone horror tales blending elements of the supernatural, the macabre, and the bizarre. A lot of Cabinet of Curiosities has a very Lovecraftian feel, even adapting 2 of the horror author's short stories. There's also other types of horror, from psychological scares to creature features, and I think every horror fan can find something to enjoy throughout the 8 episodes. Cabinet of Curiosities is still sitting on 1 season with no word on a second, but if you prefer your horror with a little dash of the weird, then this series is a good bet. It can be found in every Netflix region.
괜찮으세요?
Number 8, Sweet Home. When a sudden apocalypse turns humans into horrifying monsters, a group of survivors barricade themselves inside a high-rise apartment complex. Sweet Home is a Korean apocalyptic horror series and stands out for its terrifying creature designs, with each monster representing a warped manifestation of human desires and fears. The visual effects are top-notch, and it always keeps you on edge, whether through pulse-pounding action or moments of quiet dread. If you're a fan of creature features and monsters, this is a good series for you. It's a recently completed series with 3 seasons and can be found in every Netflix region.
It's time. It's time. It's time.
Number 7, The Fall of the House of Usher. Based on Edgar Allan Poe's classic Gothic tale, the series follows the story of the powerful and wealthy Usher family who are plagued by secrets, madness, and a dark legacy. The Fall of the House of Usher is a slow burn, modern twist of one of Poe's most famous stories. It's a series that's probably not for every horror fan, but it drips with Gothic horror and suspense through the decaying mansion, the dark family secrets, and the supernatural forces at play. If you're a fan of Gothic stories that explore the darker sides of family and legacy, The Fall of the House of Usher is the perfect series to sink into this Halloween.
We are from England, very far away. We've come here to find a way through to China and India.
Number 6, The Terror. It covers the 1845 Franklin expedition in which 2 ships became stranded in the Arctic ice and had to survive through not only extremely harsh conditions, but also something more sinister. The Terror takes the real-life story of survival and blends it with a supernatural twist that taps into our primal fears of being lost, alone, and powerless against a hostile environment. There's not much you can do when you're stranded and possibly far from civilization, and the characters are slowly picked off by the elements and something much worse. The Terror's unique blend of history, survival, and horror make it one of the most addictive horror series on Netflix. It's a short and sweet 10 episodes, but right now it can be only found in the US region of Netflix, although I imagine that will be expanded at some point. If you find yourself searching endlessly for good movies to watch on Netflix, why not let me do the work for you? I scour the depths of Netflix every week to find the best of the best in every genre, so make sure to hit the subscribe button now and enjoy the best that Netflix has to offer. Number 5, Marianne. It revolves around a horror author who realizes the creepy witch she writes about in her novels inhabits the real world as well. Marianne is a relentless psychological and supernatural horror series that grips you from the very first episode and doesn't let go. It's probably one of the most genuinely scary series on Netflix, with an oppressive atmosphere and a creepy as hell witch who haunts every scene. It's a shame that it got canceled after only one season, but despite lacking a true ending, I still think most horror fans will find it to be one of the creepiest shows on Netflix. Luckily, Marianne can be found in every Netflix region.
Come on.
What are you doing?
Come on.
What is wrong with you? Stop it.
It's not funny.
Number 4, Midnight Mass. On a small, isolated island, a mysterious new priest causes miracles to occur, but as these so-called miracles become more disturbing, dark secrets begin to unearth. Midnight Mass is the second Mike Flanagan series on the list so far, along with The Fall of the House of Usher, and one more yet to come. Flanagan is a prolific horror director, also directing a couple more Netflix series and the horror movies Gerald's Game and Hush, all of which are on Netflix. But the director has exactly 2 masterpieces in my opinion: Midnight Mass and the series still to come. Midnight Mass is not only great horror, but also a great story that really makes you think. It's a haunting, thought-provoking experience and one of the must-see horror series on Netflix. It can be found in every Netflix region.
This place will not break us. We can still win. But the only way we go home is together.
Number 3, From. In the mysterious town of From, travelers who enter quickly realize that there's no way to leave, and every night they are hunted by horrifying creatures that emerge from the surrounding forest. From is definitely one of the best horror series still on air today, with its incredibly addicting blend of mystery and horror. The series thrives on its atmosphere of dread, with each night bringing new horrors as the creatures stalk their prey. From is a 3-season series, but it seems that only the first season can be found on Netflix. It's also one of the harder series to find, with it only being available in a few European regions such as the Netherlands and Belgium. Hopefully Netflix eventually brings the other seasons and expands it to other regions, because From is definitely one of the best series to check out around Halloween time. Number 2, Ash vs. Evil Dead. Picking up 30 years after the events of the original Evil Dead films, Ash must once again rise to the occasion when a dead-eyed plague threatens humanity, hacking and slashing his way through hordes of demons. Ash vs. Evil Dead is a blood-soaked, hilarious thrill ride that perfectly mixes over-the-top gore with dark comedy. The show embraces its B-movie roots, whether it's decapitating deadites or fighting off possessed furniture. It never holds back on delivering both laughs and scares in equal measure. If you enjoy a good horror comedy, Ash vs. Evil Dead is second to none and is pure unapologetic fun for horror fans.
What if I dream that you sent us away into the dark and we get hurt? Really hurt?
Number 1, The Haunting of Hill House. What begins as a dream home renovation quickly turns into a nightmare, with ghostly apparitions, tragic deaths, and secrets buried deep within the walls. The Haunting of Hill House is a modern horror masterpiece, again coming from director Mike Flanagan in what is easily his greatest accomplishment to date. The story is as much about family trauma as it is about ghosts, and layers of mystery are added as we learn more about the house's dark past. It goes without saying, if you're a horror fan, The Haunting of Hill House is a must-see. It's a masterful horror series that will stay with you long after Halloween season is over. It can be found in every Netflix region. What about you? Which horror series do you plan on watching this October? Let us know in the comments below, and once again, thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you again soon.